Hey, this is Jason Morris with Real Estate Agents That Really Work. So, one of the things I keep hearing agents talk about in our group is they talk about all this different stuff. Where to get leads from, where to find leads, where to build, I guess, referral base from. And so, what I decided I'd do was I would record an audio for you guys, and it's what I'm going to call this is 28 ideas on where you can prospect for listings. Now, this is places that I've prospected. Myself to look for listings, and these are just ideas. You can expand on them or use them to think of something else, but this is going to give you enough where there's no excuse for you not to prospect tomorrow or next week. So most of these are free or pretty close to it. They just require some homework on your part. And number one, Craigslist for sale by owners. This is an easy one. You can log in, you can print them out daily. It doesn't matter what market you're in. There's going to be some Craigslist for sale by owners. Number two, Craigslist for rent by owners. This is a great place to build a list and a database. More than likely these people bought for an investment, or they bought the property to live in and for whatever reason had to move and couldn't sell it, or they thought they were upside down. So anyway, these people typically, these for rent by owners, if you call them today, maybe you talk to them about their house, offer to send them some comparables or information about you and your company or the pre-listing package. Whatever you send them, you get their phone number, you get their email address, you follow up with them monthly or bi-monthly. These people are one eviction away from getting just sick and tired of dealing with tenants and putting it on the market. You just need to be there when they're ready, and you need to have a relationship already established with them. Number three, your center of influence. Every person you know knows somebody that's either looking to buy or sell, or they're thinking about buying or selling themselves. What you need to do is you need to make a list of every person you know, and you need to put it in an easy-to-access database. And that database, it could be something, Realty Juggler, Top Producer. It could be something as simple as index cards that you keep in a box with rubber bands wrapped around them. But you want something where you have your center of influence, and these are just people that you know, people you grew up with, people you went to high school with, the person you met at the last chamber meeting, that's your center of influence. Number four, expired listings. Now, I use RedX, I've used LandVoice, I've used Vulcan 7, I've used a lot of different things. And expired listings are fantastic. You can actually look them up yourself if you want to, but it's real time consuming. You can use Upwork to look them up. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, but expired listings are a gold mine, especially the old ones. Once they get over a few months old, they kind of get forgotten about. The ones that are 6 and 12 months old or 18 months old, nobody's calling those people. Number five, you can knock on doors around listings that you or your office already have. You can knock on the entire neighborhood. You can put flyers out on their doors, knock it on doors around listings, typically, especially if that listing's under contract. That way you have something really cool to tell them, like, hey, our office just sold the house down the street. We're looking for other homes in the neighborhood for sale, because usually when one person sells, it won't be long and somebody else will sell too. Number six, work your past sellers or your office's past sellers. Now, if you're at a large office, there's always agents coming and going. And, work your past sellers. The agent that left, last year, call his past sellers. Call his past buyers. Ask them, what are they doing? Do they enjoy their house? That you work at whatever company you work at, and you notice their agent left and you wanted to be their realtor. Ask these people referrals too. Number seven. Look for small and medium-sized builders in your area. Builders, they got to keep selling to keep building. I mean, that is one thing. If you're building, you need to sell, or you won't be building for long. Ask them for business. Ask them what they're looking for. Ask them what kind of lots they have on. What kind of lots are they in need for? Ask them if you have lot listings. Will they be willing to give you a home plan to put on to market with that lot listing and market it as a lot home package? See if you can get some pre-sales with it. I mean, that's a great place to look for business that nobody's probably tapped into in your market. I know in my market, lot listings are pretty easy because there's a lot of them, but there's not a lot of agents that understand how to work with builders and how to do to-be-built homes. Number 8, call landlords that are doing evictions. Evictions are public record. You can probably pull them up on your local judicial site. You can probably get a title company that can pull these things for you. There's a lot of ways you can get it. You can probably call the courthouse and look for the court docket. But calling not the people being evicted, but the person that owns the house where the eviction is being done. These people, more than likely, they're fed up by the tenants. They've been jerked around. They're out a couple of months' rent. These people, a lot of them, are just tired of the whole thing. Number 9, REO and bank business. It doesn't matter what kind of market you're in. REO and bank business is out there. If it's not, there might not be a lot of it today because our markets are going up. But if it's not out there today, it's going to be out there 12 or 18 months from now, because there will be another dip in the market. There will be another recession. It's just a matter of when. And if you're in an up market, there's not a lot of agents going after this business right now, so there's not a lot of competition. Back when the market was really bad, some of these REO asset management companies and banks, they were probably getting 25 resumes a day. Now they're probably getting, lucky to get, one a week. And what you're doing lots of times with banks is you're just waiting for the agent they're using now to keep messing up, and you just to get your chance to show them what kind of great service you're going to give them. Number 10, work the buyers who are buying at foreclosure auctions. Our market has a monthly auction. Most of the buyers there, they're true investors. They have money. They are looking to buy and sell properties. I've got a couple of clients that I work with a lot that go to these things every month. Sometimes you got to do a little discount on your commission, or you have to do a little extra work for them, pulling comps for stuff that's, they might not be able to buy or might get bid up too high. But, these guys, they're usually looking for a loyal agent that's willing to work hard for them to get their property sold quick, because just like the builders, these guys, they got to sell some houses to be able to buy some more houses. They're not making money letting houses sit on the market. Number 11, knock on all the doors in hot neighborhoods. Make sure you have something to leave behind, whether it's a postcard, a door hanger, a flyer. Then once you knock on that neighborhood, call that neighborhood the next day. There's a lot of different services you can use to get these numbers, but you can knock on the doors, leave something behind the people that aren't there, call the next day. Number 12, call the old expireds. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but the expireds that are 2, 3, 4 years old, man, there's a lot of those people 3, 4 years ago. Our market wasn't like it is today. There are a lot of people still upside down. Those people, they were trying to get $125,000 for it a couple of years ago. Now $125,000 would be an extremely good price. Number 13, contact people who bought REOs and short sales between, say, 2009 and 2012, 2013. These people have a ton of equity. There might be some agents that are doing some circle farming or circle prospecting in your market, but chances are they're not focusing on this list of people that if they bought a short sale or they bought a REO between, say, 2009 and 2012, that may vary a little bit depending on your market, but they have a lot of equity. Number 14, call agents in your market that have expired listings and ask them to refer these people to you. I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but you would not believe the number of times I've had an agent refer me an overpriced listing where the person needed to do a short sale. Me personally, I don't mind doing short sales because it's like a guaranteed sale. There's a little bit more paperwork to them, but you just submit the paperwork and you just wait. And you wouldn't believe how many short sales I do. I probably get one a month that's a referral from another agent. Number 15. Call homeowners who have just had the foreclosure filed. Typically, it's a notice of default or notice of foreclosure or list pendants, maybe called different things in different states, but the foreclosure filing just happened. You can get this information at the courthouse. You can pay, if you go research it yourself, you can pay a title company to get it. There's a lot of services that will provide you with this on a monthly basis. Number 16. Have a day where you just call it old for sale by owners. Okay, if you're subscribing to something like RedX or LandVoice, a lot of them have for sale by owner, a for sale by owner database that you get the whole database from day one. After you've been printing out Craigslist ads for a while, you'll have a big stack of them. Never throw these numbers away unless these people sell the house or the people die. Number 18, use Elance. Well, actually, Elance has merged with Upwork.com. Use them to look up old phone numbers for old expired listings. I typically pay anywhere from $20 to $30 per 1,000 lookups, and I've used this to build a list that's anywhere from 1 to 4 years old, 5 years old. You can do this same thing for the foreclosures and short sales that sold before. You could do it the same for your office listings, but look for things that you can outsource on Upwork.com. I mean, it's people from India, Indonesia, literally all over the world, and they're willing to work a lot cheaper than somebody locally. Number 19, old withdrawn listings. Now, I call the new withdrawn listings, but I like to call the old ones too, because sometimes those people pulled it off the market just because, and some markets this is called canceled listings, but these are listings that got pulled off the market, and who knows what the reason was. But you call the ones that are 6 and 12 months old, they might have had a problem where they pulled it off the market 6 months ago, but that problem might be gone now. So, and their agent just never called them back. They still want to sell, but nobody called them back. Number 20, look for listings that expired with flat fee companies. I learned this a while back in my market. If you look at the flat fee companies, a lot of them actually say to contact the seller directly, and it will actually have the seller's contact information, which lots of times is a cell phone number, and it even have their email address in it. So, I mean, those are great things. More than likely, they have accurate information, and you can go back as old as you want to and pull a list of these people. Number 21, look for tax notice redemptions. Now, what this is when somebody, now this varies by state, but I'll tell you in our state how it works. I'm in South Carolina. In South Carolina, you can buy a tax deed, and if it hasn't been redeemed, you go to an auction, you buy the tax deed, and if it hasn't been redeemed within 12 months, you actually get the property. You can get a list of these people that the tax deed purchaser can redeem the title. They just haven't. Most of these people, a lot of the people buying tax deeds, they just wanted a guaranteed return. They don't know the process to do what's called, in a lot of states you have to do what's called quiet the title, which means basically clean the title. And it's a little court process, it's a few extra steps, but basically it's so that that person that bought the tax deed can get a free and clear title. A lot of these people didn't necessarily want the property. They just wanted the guaranteed return they were going to get. Number 22. Call the tax delinquencies. In the state of South Carolina, once a year, the county publishes a list of people that have not paid their property taxes. Lots of times, if they hadn't paid their property taxes, they probably can't afford their property. Sometimes the property's owned free and clear. You never really know until you actually talk to the person. But these tax delinquencies, a lot of people see it, they panic. They actually have 12 months to redeem the property, but a lot of people don't know that, or they just want to be done with the problem. This is a great list of people to call. Number 23, call low-priced properties. If you go on Craigslist and look at these for sale by owner places, a lot of agents will avoid these properties that are, say, priced $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. They'll avoid properties under a certain price point. So a lot of these properties are not heavily prospected. Now, a lot of agents say, hey, I can't afford to go list a $20,000 property. There's just isn't enough money in it for me. In some markets, there's not. But there's nothing that says that you have to charge an average commission amount. You can charge a flat fee. You can charge whatever you can get. So you can set your standard of what you feel like you need to make per listing and go out there and list a $20,000 piece of property where you get a higher commission than normal because you have a minimum for your business. Number 24. Meet agents outside of your area. I mean, Facebook is a fantastic place to do that. I mean, I live in a resort area. I made it a point to friend all the superstar agents in my state and network with them, add them to my sphere of influence every now and then, send them a message through Facebook or ask how things are going in their market. I get some regular referrals from this. And, you call those people and ask for those regular referrals. And some of them, I've had times where I've had agents to send me 6 or 8 people over 6 or 8 months. Number 25, door knock the notice of defaults. I mentioned the defaults earlier, but you can go knock on those doors too. You can knock on the tax delinquency notices too. You can knock on the door. You can stick something in the door. You can stick a postcard or flyer or whatever it is. Number 26. Try a 3 times strategy with expireds that are in a small radius around your office. There are some of those expired listings that you're just not going to be able to get in touch with. That everybody else can't get in touch with because they're calling in the morning or they're calling some specific time. Those people you can't get in touch with that are in your area that fit the niche you're working or the place you're working, man, those are great ones to do it with. Call them 3 times a day. Don't leave a message if you're just going to call over and over the same day, but call them 3 times a day. Call them at 8 o'clock in the morning. Call them at 12 o'clock in the morning. Call them at 8 o'clock at night, Call them on Saturday. Call them on Sunday. Get really aggressive with those people. Knock on their door. Leave something on the door, then leave them a message. Try that. It's hard to do a lot of them like that. You probably can only pick 2 or 3 a day at the most. Number 28 is Zillow and Trulia for sale by owners. You can print those out, do the same thing you did with the Craigslist ads. Print them out. Just keep calling the people every so often until they've actually sold the property or the person dies. Basically, just follow up however long you need to follow up with them. Number 27, 28, this is one of my favorite ones. Drive around neighborhoods just looking for sale by owner signs and clearly vacant properties. You're driving through a community that has an HOA and you see a house that looks empty with the grass waist high. Write down the phone number and go try to find that person. That's in looking for sale by owners while you're driving around. That's really 28 and 29, but those are some of the best ways that you can find them, because if you're driving through the back of a community, that guy that's actually got a house at the back and he's only got a sign literally in front of his house, that guy isn't getting many calls. People aren't really looking for him. So I'll tell you, that was 28, 29 different ways that you can look. You can look for seller listings. That's 28 ideas that are solid that you can find. You can find seller leads, you can find things to list, and you can look for listings next week. So you guys that keep asking me about where to prospect or more creative ideas to prospect, that gives you enough that there is no excuse why you can't prospect next week. So my name's Jason Morris. I'm with Real Estate Agents That Really Work. If you're not a part of my group, go ahead and join it. And if you are, I look forward to hearing what you have to say about this recording. Have a great day.